Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, star six.
Your line is now unmuted.
Okay, we'll start the meeting. Good morning. I'd like to thank everyone for being on the call today and all the hard work that you guys did this month to get us where we are today. At this time, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Bailey to introduce our pastor this morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman. Hot mic. Hey, welcome everybody, and I'd like to introduce the person who's going to give us the prayer for opening prayer at today's docket meeting. His name is Shane McGivney. Shane's a good friend of mine, grew up in Leake County, went to school with him. His mom and daddy went to school with my mom and daddy, so I have a long history of this gentleman. Good guy. He's a big outdoor conservationist, avid hunter, fisher, just a good fella all the way around. He's a Mississippi State grad, and he got his ordainment to do ministry in 2012 and 2016. He is practiced in Carthage, Mississippi, Oxford, Mississippi, recently was with the Mississippi Baptist Convention here in Jackson, and most recently, Commissioner Presley, he moved up to Belden, Mississippi.
I know right
He's
where it's
taken
at.
over Belden Baptist Church right outside of Tupelo area. So he snuck that in on me when I reached out to him the other day. So not reaching into your Northern District ministers there. So
He's got a truck stop in his front door. I know right where it's at.
So, Shane, if you're on the line, I want to thank you for joining us this morning, and I'm going to turn it over to you for the opening prayer.
Thanks, sir. Let's pray together. Father, we just want to thank you for this day that you've given us and to live our lives for you and the power and strength to do so. Lord, I just thank you for all the many blessings. It's a new day, the sun shining. Lord, that you've given us a nation to live in, a state to live in where we can practice our beliefs as we feel led by the Spirit. Father, and just want to celebrate our national history, Lord, by saying thank you for this country that we have that is America. Father, I pray for these leaders as they seek to lead our state in certain areas that they've been called to do so. Pray that you give them discernment. Pray that you give them help and strength in the midst of this COVID-19. Lord, that you draw us together to be a state that other states can look to and to admire for our faithfulness to you and our faithfulness to one another. Again, Lord, thank you for the many blessings that you have given us. Watch over us, watch over our families. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Shane.
Pastor, thank you, and we appreciate your participation. All right, if everybody's good, commissioners, will move on straight to the consent docket with item number 1, the adoption of proposed consent docket for July 2020 meeting of the commission.
I make the usual motion that we adopt the consent docket.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's have it. So let's move to the energy agenda. Item number 1 is just discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2014 UA007, CenterPoint Energy Resources Corporation Energy Efficiency Cost Recovery Rider for 12 months ending December 31st, 2019. Ms. Myrick.
Thank you, Chairman. This is CenterPoint cost recovery mechanism for its energy efficiency program costs. In this petition, the company is requesting approval to continue the programs approved by the Commission in 2019, and the company is requesting approval of its 2020 budget of approximately $1.1 million. The current year's revenue requirement is offset by a $315,000 over recovery from the prior period, resulting in a 2020 revenue requirement of approximately $759,000. This decreases a current average residential bill by 11 cents per month. Staff recommends approval.
Move we approve is presented.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
You got a second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, the next thing we have on the agenda, item number 2, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2014 UN017, Atmos Energy Corporation, notice of Atmos Energy Corporation to establish an energy efficiency cost recovery rate rider. Ms. Myrick.
Thank you. This is Atmos's cost recovery mechanism for energy efficiency program costs. In its petition, Atmos is requesting approval to continue the programs approved by the commission in 2019, and the company is requesting approval of a 12% budget increase, which results in a 2020 budget of approximately $2.5 million. The current year's revenue requirement is offset by a $155,000 over recovery from the prior period, resulting in a 2020 revenue requirement of approximately $2.3 million. This increases a current average residential bill by 11 cents per month. Staff recommends approval.
Move it, approve as presented.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Next is the telecommunication agenda, item number 1, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order and docket number 2018 UA 188 Viasat Carrier Services Incorporated, application for a designation as an eligible telecommunications carrier to receive Connect America Funds Phase 2 auction. That's auction number 903, support for voice and broadband services. Ms. Denmark.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. PSC was a winning bidder in the Cash 2 auction 903 and awarded $5.2 million over 10 years to provide voice and broadband services to 633 census blocks throughout the state of Mississippi. PSC is a facilities-based satellite provider and will utilize fixed wireless technology to provide their services. PSC will provide an informational tariff that provides terms, conditions, their website, and contact for regulatory and customer service before offering service in Mississippi for its CAP 2 locations, as well as sample marketing materials prior to commencing service in Mississippi. PSC appears to have the financial, technical, and managerial expertise to offer these services in Mississippi. Staff has no objections to this petition.
Mr.
Okay,
Chairman,
Commissioners, go ahead.
I intend to make a motion, and I understand the need to get this thing off the docket. But Ms. Denmark, I mean, Viasat is a company that in my district I get constant complaints about, whether it be the speed, whether it be the pricing, whether it be the availability. And I'm going to make the motion to approve this because I know it's been hanging out there for 2 years and we need to move it. But I would appreciate you putting this company on notice that, you know, less than superior customer service could result in them coming back before the commission. You know, in the broadband world we've dealt in, and again, I'm going to make the motion to approve it. I just want to send a clear signal because the product that they're delivering is very problematic for rural people. And I know we don't have much choice in this, but I just think that it would be good if you would personally put them on notice that, you know, if we get a rash of consumer complaints, they're going to hear from the commission on that. And I move we approve item 1, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
You have a second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Now we're going to move to the water and sewer agenda. Number 1, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order at docket number 2019 UA 093, Town of DeKalb, or DeKalb, depending on where you're from. Order approving transfer and portion of certificate of public convenience and necessity. Mr. Brewer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In 2014, the Kemper County Board of Supervisors purchased a parcel located west of DeKalb as an industrial site. Kimberly Water Association declined to serve the area. The town of DeKalb is willing to serve the area. The estimated cost for the water and sewer project is $1,565,019. The county, with the assistance of grant funding, will install the water facilities and DeKalb will maintain them. The filing is complete and staff recommends approval.
I move we approve.
Okay, question there.
All right, we have a motion. Commissioner Bailey has a question.
Just for Mr. Brewer there, just want to confirm that these costs, for this extension and this transfer will not be put on the rate base of the folks of the town of DeKalb or, the ones in certificated area. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You got a second on that?
Yes, sir, I second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right, the next item is a discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 UA 014. That's Thaxton Hills Utilities Order approving transfer and portion of certificate of public convenience and necessities. Mr. Brewer.
Okay, thank you. This is a request for an initial certificate to provide sewer service. Thaxton Hill subdivision is a residential development in Pontotoc County, Mississippi. The development will consist of 92 individual lots. Sewage will be treated on each lot with advanced treatment units and collected in force mains to a central shared absorption bed, where the sewage receives final treatment at the underground disposal chamber beds. Construction cost is funded by the home builder, ProKey LLC, and Thaxton Hills Development. Filing is complete and staff recommends approval.
I move we approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
You got a second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, the next one is discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 UA 054, Fannin Water Association Incorporated, order granting supplemental certificate of public convenience and necessity. Mr. Brewer.
Okay, thank you. Application of Fannin Water Association Incorporated for a supplemental certificate to serve 17 customers in an area adjacent to its current certificated area in Rankin County. Facilities planned for the proposed additional service area include infrastructure to provide portable water to the proposed Freedom Farm subdivision. The infrastructure includes 8-inch and 12-inch PVC water mains. The infrastructure includes 3,000 feet of 8-inch and 5,000 feet of 12-inch PVC water mains. The cost will be paid by the developer, Freedom's Image LLC. All interested parties were noticed and the filing is complete and staff recommends approval.
Okay. Any questions?
Motion recommend.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, now we're going to move on to the administrative agenda, discussion and possible action regarding approval of commission's minutes for the June 2020 term of the commission. Do we have a motion to
I move,
approve?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Next is discussion and possible action regarding the resolution to establishment of the Connect Mississippi Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve that, and I think the discussion was that each commissioner appoint 4 members to the committee.
Yeah, the committee will exist of 4 members appointed by each commissioner, cover the state. We'll also have on there Chairman Joel Carter and Chairman Scott Bounds from the House and Senate Representatives.
All right, I move we approve the resolution.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
You have a second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. The next one is item 3 and 4 we'll take up together. Item 3, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order of docket number 2020 UN 053, City of Greenville, order referring matter to Commissioner Brent Bailey for hearing and recommendation. Number 4 is discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 UN 057 Oakview Utility Company, order referring matter to Commissioner Brent Bailey for hearing and recommendation.
I move we approve items 3 and 4.
I second it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Move on to the next one. The next one is number 5, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order pertaining to the Mississippi Electric Cooperative Broadband COVID-19 Act. Mr. Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This order is in recognition and enabling and offering our assistance as a commission to the Mississippi Public Utility staff, who the legislature recently appointed to review and recommend the grants that would be available because of the CARES Act money allocated to the state of Mississippi in response to COVID-19 with regard to distance learning, telehealth, teleworking, and things like that. The order suggests and orders that this commission will offer its assistance, its legal staff, and others in order to execute this legislative scheme.
And Mr. Farmer, the current law requires us to provide administrative support and data processing already, correct?
That's correct.
So we would be required to do that. I move we approve that order, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, the next, number 6 and 7. Number 6, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order and docket number 2020 AD 050, City of Clinton versus Entergy, order appointing Laura Dixon as hearing examiner. Mr. Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a formal complaint filed by the City of Clinton against Entergy Mississippi. Based on the nature of this complaint and the frequency of anticipated motions, it makes sense to refer this to a hearing examiner. This order, the order before the commission, refers this matter to Laura Dixon as that hearing examiner.
Move we approve.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, the next one is discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 UA 055, the Oaks Utility Order appointing Stephanie Taylor as hearing examiner. Mr. Farmer.
Thank you. This is very similar to the previous matter. This is a certificate proceeding involving the Oaks. For the same reasons as the prior item, it makes sense to refer this to a hearing examiner, and in this case, it's referred to Stephanie Taylor.
Move we approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, to the next one on number 8 here, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2019 UA 144. In reference application for miscellaneous relief related to provisions of the auxiliary power at the Choctaw Generating Station in Choctaw County, Mississippi. Mr. Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As many are aware, Entergy Mississippi purchased the Choctaw Generating Facility in Choctaw, Mississippi, as part of their generation fleet. The miscellaneous relief requested in this docket is that Entergy be able to provide their own auxiliary power and basically giving themselves the power they need when they're not generating enough power at the station itself. This approves that request. It has a long history before the commission, but ultimately came down to a legal question about whether or not they are able to self-serve under the statute, and the order before the commission affirms that they are in fact able to self-serve. So Entergy would be self-serving that facility, even though it is in the certificated area of a different utility.
I move we approve.
So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Move on to the next one. Discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2019 AD 224, Bell South Telecommunications discussed and possible action, reference entry of order implementing recommendations of fuel auditors. Ms. Dixon? Hello, Ms. Dixon.
You may be on mute.
Star 6. Unmute. Is that right?
I never did mute that one back then.
I think that's what it is.
Ms.
Mr.
Dixon?
Chairman, I can just address it if need be.
Is anybody else from your office on there?
Megan should be, but we're not on there yet.
Okay.
We're not to her yet.
Well, I wanted to see who all was left on the phone.
Mr.
Well,
Ch-
you go ahead and address it then.
Mr. Chairman, I'll just speak to it. We do audits of, excuse me, of the utilities before the commission's jurisdiction. Those audits typically result in recommendations. This is an order adopting the recommendations of those auditors.
I move we approve.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Move on to item 10. Given the remaining items are similar action, we'll take 10 to 15 altogether here. All right, so number 10 is discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 NC 72 MPSC versus J2 Global Communications Incorporated doing business as Line 2 Inc. Show cause order. Number 11 is discussion and possible actions regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 NC 73 MPSC versus Veracity Networks LLC. Show cause order. Discussion and possible actions regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 NC 74 MPSC versus NobleBiz Incorporated. Show cause order. Number 13, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 NC 75 MPSC versus Perfect Pitch Technology LLC. Show cause order. Discussion and possible actions regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 NC 76 MPSC versus Intelligent Contacts Incorporated. Show cause order. And number 15, discussion and possible actions regarding the proposed order in docket number 2020 NC 77 MPSC versus Intelligent Contacts Inc. Show cause order. Mr. Bennett, are you with us? I think, you on?
Hey.
Okay. Hey, there you go. Okay.
Commissioners, these are all different companies that have been sent to me from various districts that have failed to answer subpoenas, and so, we just want to issue these show cause orders to get these answered and get some resolution on these consumer complaints.
Okay, that sounds good.
I move we approve items 10 through 15.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Ayes have it.
All right, is there any other business of the commission that needs to be addressed at this time?
Mr. Chairman, I just thought of this sitting down. I don't mean this to spring this on anybody, but I'd ask that with the retirement of Verdon Jones, Mike McCool, and Randy Tew, that the commission issue the normal honorary resolution for their service to the state. I know we do that when somebody retires in the past, and I think because of COVID and that sort of thing, it would be a nice gesture since we couldn't formally thank them in a meeting or something.
I
That
agree.
verbiage is already on file. If we could just, I don't know that we need to vote on that, but just, I guess we do need to vote on it, don't we? So I would move we use the normal honorary language and issue 3 proclamations to those 3 individuals.
Okay, and I'll second it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. We'll make sure, Frank.
We'll get that,
done.
we'll get that drafted up.
Okay. If there's no other business at this time, we stand adjourned.